Hello, everyone. I'm going to read pages 214 to 234. Chapter 49. Upon Waking. Maxine Grindle opened her eyes. She was sitting in a chair at her front window, same spot she'd been since late morning when she and Dudley had returned from the emergency clinic. Same old view of Burt Gray Road between the trunks of the tall pines. Her orange cat was resting on her lap, and in turn, Maxine rested her wrapped finger on the cat's ample back. Dudley had kept her appraised, between her many unintentional naps that day, about the search for the missing boy. "Any more news?" she asked groggily. "Are they still up to the oh, hush cool?" She lost that sentence in an enormous yawn, but Dudley understood her. "Believe so," he said. "Oh, me. Wish we could be out there helping," Maxine sighed. "Did I tell you? I've met that boy. Charmed me into Mrs. Thrift deep discount on a pretty needlepoint purse without speaking a word." "Hmm. Did I tell you that, Dudley?" "You did. A dozen times, darlin'." "Oh, no, I did not," Maxine protested. "You did. It's fine." "Well, it's breaking my heart," she said. "I want to join that search." "Me too," said Dudley. "But we need to tend to you today." Maxine knew that her immediate future was all about sleeping off that wild medication and taking care of her finger. She was going to miss the flea market in Searsport the next morning anyway. "Mrs. Thrift takes a sales hit," she mumbled. "Doctor's orders." She glanced at her bandaged finger, aka Miss Mummy. "Piddling," Maxine said, because nothing was more important than finding that boy. Oh, this poor mother. And his poor little loud friend. She must ache for him. Mrs. Thrift knew a special bond when she saw one. Soon the purring of her cat and the sunshine beaming in the window between the tall pines combined forces and sent Maxine back to napping, but not for as long this time. When she woke, Dudley was bringing tea and crackers for her, and a late lunch with an early beer for himself. Maxine thanked her fella. She took a slow, steamy sip, and oh, that tea tasted good. A few sips later, she felt like she might finally be coming back to life. She looked out at her busted lawn chair. She vaguely recalled having taken a hard landing on it. Oh, in fact, and she'd gone through it. Right. She was fainting at the time. The webbing had not held. Heavens! Was she ever going to regain her handle on this day? The crumpled chair frame and tore webbing still lay on the carpet of pine needles that spread out to the edge of the road. And the road, Maxine noticed, seemed busy now. "Lot of traffic. Looks like it could be coming down from the school," she said. "Maybe they're on the move," Dudley said. He took a look at his phone. "Think it means they've been found?" "Nah, I think Charlie and Edna would have sent a message in that case. They're up there." Took a tank of drinking water to the back of their truck. "But you're right, Maxie. That is a lot of cars." "Curious," Maxine said. She suddenly felt bored and thought she might like to get up. She shifted under the weight of the cat and got back an offended look. She purred at him, and he settled again. He was a sweet cat, when he wasn't sneaking outside to taunt the backyard birds. "Oh, the birds! Dudley," Maxine asked, "did you remember to fill the feeder?" "Oh, I remember now," he said. "Well, you know what? I want to do it," she told him. "Oh, Maxie, are you sure?" Dudley did not put down his sandwich. "Yes," she said, and she eased herself out from under the cat. She waggled Miss Mummy and Dudley. "I think we can handle the task," she joked, and Dudley laughed with his mouth full. "We'll holler if we need you." "I'll listen for you," he said. "Steady now, darlin'." Maxine did feel steady. She stepped into her slippers, no laces to tie, and made her way to the kitchen pantry. She protected her injured finger and scooped a pitcherful of sunflower seeds one-handed. She popped the latch on the back door with her elbow and swung it open. She stopped on the step and took in a deep breath of the warm September afternoon. Ah, this was just what she needed. She glanced into the yard. There was a spotted animal at the bird feeder. She opened her eyes wider than she had all day. Maxine blinked twice. What a strange jewel of a creature. Oh, a deer! Was it a deer? Since when did deer wear patches of all those colors, chestnut and chocolate, snowy white and roan red? It looks quilted, Maxine thought. She stood stock still. She watched the deer give the feeder a good nudge with its black, bulbous nose. With its pretty, pretty lips, it swept the last of the sunflower seed out of the lowest feeder hole. Dudley, Maxine whispered, though not loud enough to be heard. What to do? He must come see this. Maxine was in a pickle. If she went to get Dudley, the deer might well be gone by the time they came back. If she called for him too loudly, the animal would scare. Maxine stayed stuck for several long minutes. If only she had been able to take her eyes off that magnificent deer, she might have seen the boy in the plaid shirt and khaki pants. He was standing with one cheek pressed against the smooth gray trunk of a beech tree, no more than 30 feet away from Maxine and her back door. Chapter 50, The Cool Tree. The tree trunk felt cool on Frenchie's cheek. It smelled good, too. Outdoor things often did smell good. The deer was eating seeds like birds eat seeds. Frenchie could hear the cars going by on the road, not far. Cars are not a good time to cross. But Frenchie thought the deer would cross like it had in the morning because it was going back now. He remembered. Let's follow, for as long as it'll let us. He was still thinking that Aurora would come. The school was close now, and Frenchie knew the way. He heard a latch click and a person come out the door, slippers on the feet, not shoes. She was Mrs. Thrift. Frenchie squeezed the needlepoint purse against his side. Mrs. Thrift had lots of things. She might have more seeds for the deer, but she didn't come off the step. She stood as still as a cool tree. Chapter 51. Just over a year ago, a Zelda Trinks quarry. This search for Frenchie is taking us over all sorts of Maine terrain. We scuff through the gray dust and pea stone beside a gravel pit, and it makes me think of the day we visited the quarry. Mom had a story to write about an artist who owned a quarry, or part of one. Inactive is what Mom told me. Except, hey, a quarry means a whole lot of rocks. And trees and water mean a whole lot of birds. And the place was open to the public. I knew it probably wasn't the place to find nice tourmaline specimen, but it sounded cool, and it wasn't far from home. Close as the crow flies, Pop said. He says that about a lot of places because our roads do wind the long way around. We took a picnic on a hot day last summer. Frenchie and Gracia came with us. We packed a cooler because Mom was scared our sandwiches would turn putrid before we got to eating them. We followed the signs up a loopy road that turned to dirt and parked our van in a scrubby sloped lot. Pop and I had to drag the cooler up a path. At the top were giant pieces of granite sunk into the ground all in a row, all of them taller than Pop. We wedged our way between them. Sheesh, I said. Good thing we're not hauling a double wide, Pop. Good thing we don't mind banging up our cooler and scraping off our hip bones. I'll say, phew. Pop sat down hard on the cooler and fanned himself with his hat. Mom let Cedar slide off her hip. She took a few photos and scribbled some notes while Gracia took a brochure out of a box on a post. Frenchie and I walked a few more feet. We stood shoulder to shoulder looking over the place. Whoa, I said. It's like a rock fun park, cut right into the earth. Mom, you should you should put that in the story. There were pools of black and green water, and clusters of lily pads with pink star-shaped blooms sitting on top, and purple pickerel weed. Plants grew up out of cracks in the gray rocks. There were granite sculptures everywhere, carved with suns, swirls, whales, and fish. There was a bank of heaped-up jagged rocks, all sizes, from the quarry's old working days. I knew because I'd seen photos of the mine in Androscoggin. Way across a big pool of dark water, I could see a tall gray wall of granite, the highest side of the quarry. It was at least as high as the peak of our A-frame. "Mom! Pop! Did you know it would be like this?" I called to them. "How come we've never been here before?" "Welcome!" There came a woman with a crinkly smile, her gray hair in a floppy bun. She had on a heavy apron, and spatters of clay had dried on her arms. "I take it you are the writer," she said to Mom. "I see you found the brochure. Map is on the flip side. Do you have any questions?" "I do," I said. "How'd those monster stones get there? I mean, right in the way and all." I jabbed my thumb over my shoulder at the tall standing rocks. "Those are my megaliths," she said. "Took me a whole summer working with Gorgeous, sunup to sundown, to plant them. Had some help from my friends to set them upright into the holes in backfill." Wait. Working with Gorgeous? Who's he?" "She. Gorgeous is my backhoe. She's rusty, trusty, and good." "And what about you?" "I'm rusty, trusty, and not so good." "No, I mean, what's your name?" "Ezelda Trink. Welcome to my quarry." "Ezelda Trink," I repeated. "And this is your own quarry? Wow. So do you want to be called Miss or Mrs. Trink?" I asked. "Call me Ezelda." "Okay, so Ezelda, about those megaliths. Did you ever think people might want to drive their cars right up to the top here?" I asked. "That's exactly what I thought," she said. "But I wanted to keep cars down there and artistry and natural beauty up here." She stretched her arms wide. I gave my sweaty head a scratch. I looked at Mom and Pop and Gracia. They were going to let me handle this. "Well, what about wheelchair access? Ever think of that?" "Did. That's when I call up to the house for Gary. He's an artist in resident. Came for 2 months and stayed for 2 years." She chuckled. "We go down together and help anyone who needs us. If they need us, that is. It's an incline after all, not a ski slope. Wheelchairs and baby strollers fit between the megaliths. Gorgeous and I made sure of that." She shut one eye at me. "You're a thoughtful girl," she said. "Oh, thanks. A lot of people say I'm annoying." Zelda, the artist, snores. "Unimaginable," she said. She smiled, a gentle kind of smile at Frenchie. "Quiet soul," she said. She looked at the three parents, maybe wondering who he belonged to. "He's a silent soul," I said. "Well, maybe not." I looked right at Gracia. She smiled and nodded. "What I mean is, he doesn't talk with words, so you have to look for his answers." "Makes things interesting for you, then, doesn't it?" Zelda said. "Yeah," I shrugged. "But I get him. Like right now, he looks like he's having a big old stare at nothing. But he's really looking for birds. They're his favorite. He's birds. I'm rocks. Hey, mind if I do some rock hunting here, on your property?" "That's fine, as long as rocks and all your hunting. After anything in particular?" "Tourmaline," I said. "I'm always after tourmaline. It's here, I mean, probably not right here, but it is in Maine. In case you didn't know, one of these days I'm going to visit a mine and find a vein," I sighed. I looked all around her place. "But thanks for letting me look. Oh, and if I do find it, can I keep it?" "You're welcome to take all the stone you can carry." Well, was all I needed to forget all about lunch. I was off. Except Mom grabbed the tail of my t-shirt before I got away. I kept marching. I made windmill arms. Aurora, let's please take a look at Zelda's map first. And a few safety rules," Gracia added. The quarry had parts. Right close was the picnic area and a wading pool. A short walk across some flat rocks, and there was a shallow swimming pond. "The most important note," Zelda says, "is that there's no admittance beyond the fence. You see?" She pointed to a split rail that circled a huge watery hole surrounded by a high wall of granite. "There's a deep water quarry, cold as can be, and not safe." "Got it," I said. "Best way to view it is through these." She flipped open the lid on a wooden box attached to a post and pulled out an old set of binoculars. "You'll find some binocular boxes on the property. Maybe your birder will enjoy them." I put them right up to my eyes and scanned all around the quarry. "What's that hill full of crunchy-looking stones?" "Grout," she said. "It's scrap from the mining days, jagged cut-offs. I banked it up with help from Gorgeous, another deterrent for those who ignore fences and things. They want to go deep in the water, deep water. I can't have that. Oh, I see, I said. I was still looking through the binoculars, imagining the old quarrying days, and looking at the stripes in the granite, and the way plants had taken root in the stone. I already knew that granite was super hard, igneous rock with mica, quartz, and feldspar in it. Some of the crystals were catching the sun. I traced my way up the farthest and highest part of the quarry wall, all the way to the top. Hey, I said, put people up there, right now. You said no hiking allowed on the ledge. I don't allow it, Zelda grumbled. They ride their ATVs and motorbikes in from the town parcel and completely ignore the property markers. They've tamped a path up there, wide as a logging road. But there is little I can do, she sighed. Back to work with me, she said. I'll be off this way in the clay studio. She waved her muddy arm. Drop in and visit. Enjoy the place. Well, I didn't find a piece of tourmaline that day, but Mom got her story, and I sure did like the shallow ponds of Zelda Trink's quarry. Frenchie and I floated there, and Cedar sat splashing in the puddles with Pop. I thought about what it must have been like years ago when they cut a dragged giant slabs of granite out. Huh, that's kind of destructive, taking rock out of the earth like that, isn't it? Look how it's all scarred up. Frenchy couldn't hear him that day. His ears were underwater. Now here we are searching for him, passing by this gravel pit, and talk about scarred up. It's a funny thing. Both this pit and the quarry are for harvesting stone, but the quarry is beautiful, and I'd call this gravel pit ugly, ghost gray, dry, and weedy. But as we walk out, I remember something Zelda Trink said, something I liked because I could see it with my own eyes. Nature has been taking back the quarry, growing it over and healing it up. That's what I want, to get healed up. We are not finding Frenchie, and now every step leaves me with a fresh hollow in my gut. Chapter 52, Trespass Trail. The land turns woodsy again. The air is cooler under the trees. The brush and boulders are taller than we are and wider than a six-person hug. Ferns and reindeer lichen cling to them like wild heads of hair. I would love to climb them if everything about today were different, that is. Frenchie would stay below. He doesn't like lichens. Too rough. Like a tag in the neck of a shirt, I guess. I ask for a turn carrying Cedar and the backpack. He's heavy as rocks and thinks this is a game. He pulls my hair and puts his fingers over my eyes. He bounces and hollers, "Guawaga!" We walk a sponge of reddish-brown pine needles now. We step over roots. We pick up pine cones, hard little green ones and big open brown ones. My legs feel like rubber. I teeter one time too many for Mom. She takes my brother off my back. When we reach a yard or a clearing, it can seem like the trail has ended, and maybe it has, but headquarters drops new pins on the GPS that have us winding toward Burt Gray Road, back to the school. So we keep going. All day long, we have not really known whose land we were on. When we do see people, we explain why we are trespassing. Gracia tells them, "My son is lost. Have you seen a young boy come through, 11 years old?" We hand them the photocopy of his school picture. I tell them his hair is longer now. Some say, "Oh, heard about that. Went missing, huh? So sorry. Terrible thing." People promise to keep an eye out for him. They invite us to fill our water bottles. Everyone is kind. But nobody has seen Frenchie. Chapter 53, The High Place. The trail stopped in a high place. Frenchie stood on the edge looking out. All rock. He knew this place from over there, across, in the low. Aurora liked all this rock. She liked the deer too, so he followed it all day long. But she had not caught up, and now Frenchie couldn't see the deer, but that might be it, making swishing sounds off in the green leaves. A loud, dark bird made him look up. He had some loud birds in his needlepoint purse, but not this one. There was light and dark and shine, and light and dark and shine up there. And then the bird flew out. Caw, caw! The black wings tilted into the blue. Frenchie stared. Nothing holds birds up. Nothing keeps them up. Now the bird was gone, so Frenchie flapped and tweeted. The needlepoint purse swung at his side. The ground under his heels made sound. Then it broke into crumbs, slow, fast. Smash! His teeth clanked together. He was on his butt, sliding. The high place let go of Frenchie. The branch caught him. Let him go. The rocks caught him. Let him go. He grabbed, but everything let him go. Frenchie could not stay up on nothing. Chapter 54. Things Fall. Most days, by 3 in the afternoon, Zelda Trink was done working in her pottery studio. That's when she could be found, or not found, as she preferred, leaning on the split-rail fence, gazing over the deep water quarry and coddling a mug of good Earl Grey tea. But this Friday afternoon harbored a rotten surprise for the artist. She trimmed her last pot of the day from the wheel and nestled it under the long sheet of plastic at her front table with the rest of the day's successful turnings. She scrubbed her hands and toweled them dry. She turned from the sink, and when she did, she caught the loop of her apron tie on something. That something was the corner of the tall drying rack shelf where a dozen pots sat ready for the kiln. Darned if Zelda in her April tie didn't pull the whole setup off its supports. The shelves and the clay pots came down with a crash. Zelda spent the next hour softly cussing to herself and picking up shards of leather-hard pottery and tossing them into a vat of water. It was a lot of lost work at the potter's wheel, but the pieces were unfired, so they'd absorb the water and become soft clay again. So it went. And so it was that Zelda was not peacefully sipping tea in full view of the deep-water quarry at 3 o'clock that afternoon when Frenchy Livernois took his dreadful fall. She did not see him tumbling down the granite ledges, losing his belongings as he went. She neither saw nor heard the splash he made as he hit the dark, cold water.